Would you join Ruto's camp in the event that Ruto took heed of your demands?
Which demands?
For example, dealing with the issue of abductions in the judicial way you've given us, if that was something that they looked into.
No, I think my mind is made up.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I've had enough of it. And let me say, among other things, one thing I told William Ruto, and which unfortunately he refused to tell Kenyans, when he was talking about me telling him this or the other. When he offered me the position of Attorney General, I turned it down.
Why?
That was before. And I told him, well, I've been Speaker for 10 years. It's too much reading, because, the Speaker has to read through every committee report to approve it for tabling. So this is too much. So I told him, I just want to be in the cabinet, whatever ministry. I didn't care. I did not choose. And at first we left it at that. 2-3 days later, my friend then he had just become Speaker, succeeding me, Moses Masika Wetangula, calls me. We meet somewhere in Karen, in some hotel one evening, and in our usual way, he say we had what to do, hand to mouth business. And he tells me, I've been sent by the president to plead with you to accept the position of Attorney General. And I told Moses, no. I've already told him. And he tells me, no. He told me to come and plead with you as a friend, classmate, roommate. I mean, because Moses and I have come a long way. I told him, my reservation is one. The way you know me, I'm a stickler to the law. And I just fear taking up a job where I will not be able to exercise my freedom to interpret the law as I best know how. And but I told him anyway. But that's my fear. But I didn't tell him to go and tell him that. A day or two later, William calls me. We are in State House and is eager to announce his cabinet. So we have some general meeting with several other, later cabinet colleagues. Then, as we finish, he says, JB, I have not finished with you. So we go into the office, the inner office. And, we sit down for more cup of tea, because usually that's one thing I think William is very generous with, tea. So we having another cup of tea, and he tells me, JB, I've not finished with you. I say, why? And he told me, I'm pleading with you to take the job of Attorney General. I told him, you know what, I give you my reasons. I don't want to go to do another 10 years or 5 years of just into books again. I want to relax a bit, because I know ministers, the ministers usually don't have to do a lot of reading. And I know that, except maybe the Cabinet Secretary for National Treasury, who has no option but to read a lot, just like the Attorney General. So he told me, JB, I have very many lawyer friends, but it is you I want. This is the time now I decided, let me tell William the truth. I told him, the problem I have is, you know me to be a stickler to the law. And taking up this job, and then perhaps one day you want to do things in a particular way which the law does not allow, I will have problems. And that's why I'm actually reluctant to take this job. It's not about the reading. Then he told me, JB, that's the reason why I want you to take up the job. Sijagomea baraza la mawaziri. And I did not abscond, as the president seemed to imply. I don't consider at least what I did to be absconding duty. And maybe to give some context, on 3rd of January this year, I attended a burial of a son of my close friend and village mate, the former senator for Embu, Lene Kivuti. While at the service, the funeral service, my personal assistant brought to me an envelope and whispered to me that it contained the president's message of condolence to the family, since he also knows Lene Kivuti. When I received it, first of all, nobody had alerted me that anything like that was going to happen. And when I got to the funeral service, I found everybody was seated, including, among others, the former Deputy President, Rigiji, and several members of Parliament. I sat next to Lenny, and because somebody we have grown up together, so I whispered to him that this envelope you've seen contains a message of condolence from the President. How would you want me to handle it?
Yeah.
And Lenny told me, please, I think it's only fair that you read it out when the moment comes. I told him, okay. But because I know generally in our area, people don't misbehave in funeral ceremonies. So I took it as that. But when my time to go and read that message came, I was shocked. But even as I climbed the podium, I noticed from the back of the tent, because there were very many people in attendance, I noticed some uneasiness. But when I got to begin speaking, I placed the envelope aside, and I saw that seemed to lower down the tension which I had noticed. I've been in public life for quite some time, so I could tell this. I think this
reading the room.
This envelope could be the cause of the tension. There's some little bit of tension that I noticed.
Yeah.
So I went on to give my personal condolence to Lenny, but I could still see there was some little bit of excitement in the course of giving my message, because I spoke soon after Kiraitu Murungi, who had challenged not just me personally, but government on the issue of abductions and extrajudicial killings. So obviously it was going to look very, very, very odd that I will not respond to that kind of challenge.
Right.
So in responding, I said, yeah, I agree with you. That really it is not a very good thing, that we cannot put an end to these heinous acts. And we don't seem to know who it is that is doing it. But of course, I was constrained to comment further, since all along, since June, the events of June last year, whenever I tried to make inquiries about what was happening with regard to my son, I was told, please, that matter is under active police investigation. And therefore, it's not something that you can ask. And I'm saying this to us to put the record straight, because I've seen over some period people asking, why did it take you so long? Remember, I was a serving cabinet secretary, and besides that, a former speaker, a trained lawyer of many years standing. So when I was told, and I talked to the people that are involved, and they tell me the matter is still under active investigation.
The people involved in terms of matters abduction?
No, the people involved in police, security matters. Because I kept asking, I wanted to know. I was keen to know why it is that my son had been abducted. So I was always told it's under active investigation.